series of Solar today. As we have at the top left-hand side, he is our blue Zerg Solar. And to the bottom right, the yellow Terror player is Ziggy. So again, 2 games played in each of these matches. The current placing of these guys in the group, so Ziggy is 1-3 in maps, which means that I don't think at best Ziggy could maybe tie up with MC if he wins all these games, but I think MC is guaranteed through the group. Solar, if he wins this series 2-0, has got a good chance of moving through the group in first place. Solar's only dropped a map to Alive and MC so far. He's 4-2, so he's 4-2 with 3 matches played. MC's 5-3 with 4 matches played. With 2 matches played, Alive has 3-1, and then Sort of and Ziggy have 1 map win each so far. So let's see how this goes. As again, back on Winter's Gate, well, there's going to be a little bit of a different way of going about things here. As it is going to be Proxy 2 racks, but it is a gas, so it's Proxy 2 racks Reaper. Tell you what, it is actually, I guess the biggest shame about seeing this map 2 times in a row is not so much that it's the same map twice in a row, it's the fact it's one, same Terran player and the same matchup as well, right? But again, that's why we have multiple days and different groups and stuff like that, as we do see Bunker coming down on the natural expansion. So again, that Bunker dropping down. Here's a few drones pulling over, chasing that SCV away. He's trying to bunker up. He's actually building Marines. I really thought it was going to be a Reaper because he built the gas. So he's just going into a very, very quick follow-up here. These bunkers will not come up. Big SCV pull or drone pull from Solar. And Marines and SCVs will come back in now and try and, well, build up once again. Bunker's coming down. This bunker's not in range of the hatchery, though, so I'll have to keep that in mind as well. This one will be, at least, so 2 bunkers to work with there. I'd like to see maybe like a 1 pixel gap between these, or like a 1 hex gap between these, so you can just put the Marines in between to stop the surround. Kiting away right now, we are going to be seeing the drones. Well, he does the turnaround, so he gets back towards the bunkers, but the bunkers still aren't finished. And that's the importance of delaying the bunkers initially. You can buy so much time where the bunkers are just not going to be done, and by now these SCVs are very likely... Oh, that bunker actually will finish up. Okay, so bunker finishes, but only because of a little bit of a missed target by Solar, and I don't think you get Marines in here anyways. Even if you do, it's so low in HP already. Queen will turn and push those Marines back. Kills the bunker with the Ling, so he doesn't get the salvage off, so no minerals back in the pocket of Ziggy. And Ziggy is unable to do a lot pushing towards the front here. Circles continue to run down and chasing those Marines down as well. Command center dropping in the main base from Ziggy as a couple of racks going to fly home. Land up over there as well. That factory about to finish. As the factory finishes, we'll see a Hellion on the way out. And again, those Lings of Solar just pulling back towards the natural expansion. Just going to be hanging out and getting ready for the next stage of this. Solar did have gas, but he pulled out for a little while because, well, you don't need that much gas. So he actually still has link speed started, and he has 140 gas left, so pulling out for a while, he just doesn't need any more. He's got way too much already, I'd say. First Hellion here, cleans up that single Zergling. Obviously, Ziggy has an expansion on the way up. And with this much, am I looking at the wrong player's gas? I think I am. Solar only has 28 gas. God damn it. I'm not having a good day, guys. Like, I'm just being a bit stupid at points. Sorry. Solar doesn't have too much gas, so he just pull out at 100. Doesn't need more than link speed. It's Ziggy that has a lot of gas to spend, but what does he spend it on? He builds up triple CC. I mean, Solar's going to see the first command center here. He will eventually see the second as well. There we go. So both command centers setting up right now. As we have got the factory dropping down a tech lab in the back. So it's a second factory. It's going to be his way to try and deal set up in this game. And that's the one thing Solar does not scout. He also only scouts his 1 gas though, so why would you expect a second factory? I wouldn't. Factory will lift up and build a reactor, which isn't too crazy either. Solar is going to take the forward base here. So taking the forward base, and we'll see how that turns out with this inhibitor zone and the rocks as well. I still feel there's a lot of chances for Terrans to be aggressive in that position, but maybe not so much when you're obviously this far behind. Maybe that's what Solar's just thinking, and I guess it is kind of an easier base to hold in terms of every other aspect, apart from the pushing potential with these rocks and so on. I wouldn't mind seeing these rocks go down, just so you can't get tank siege behind them, and you have some speed you can attack into this area with. Just feels the Terran really will just utilize this choke point. Hellions just hanging out on the low ground as we see the Infernal Pre-Igniter is on the way. Solo finishes Roach Roar, and then we'll get those Roaches going. And if those Roaches coming in, we are going to be seeing them coming through the center. We'll see if it gets... I mean, does he go through the center with the inhibitor zones? Does he run around the side? For now, he'll run around the side. This Roach gets caught up. There you go. Inhibitor in action here. Slows the movement of units by 35%. Oh. This Ravager's like, I will morph in the inhibitor zone. As he will jump in there and continue forwards. Another Ravager morphing in as well. There's a couple of Hellions running by. Initiates for Ziggy against Roaches. He's been building. He just types out already. He was obviously building double factory Hellions, right? With triple CC. He has nothing to defend Roaches with. Like, nothing at all. Obviously one we haven't seen yet. So I'll introduce the players first. The bottom right-hand side, our yellow Terran is Ziggy. Well, this map's larger than I thought it was going to be. As to the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg is Solar. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look around. First of all, let's look at the edges. Ooh, is that a rich Vespene Geyser because it's purple? I guess it probably is, right? Or all the gas. Yeah, I think it's a rich Vespene Geyser. Ooh, interesting. That means you mine more gas per trip with the rich Vespene Geyser. Okay. Well, nothing too exciting around the edges. Let's look at the main base and so on then. So, up in the main. Pretty regular main. Good amount of space, I would say. We can build a lot of production down here as Terran and Protoss and so on, so that's important. Obviously, the size of this is kind of protected by the fact you've got a base you can take here, although that base is kind of the far away base, because you've got to come all the way around here. So, to get ground reinforcements there takes a long time, but you could protect it with, like, tanks on the high ground or so. Ziggy, by the way, going to wall off and go for the 3 Rax Reaper here. The high ground third open over here as well. And then leads into a high ground fourth. So in general, I think the maps to be taken are pretty cool. The bases to be taken are pretty cool. Some cool little bit of high grounds and some rocks to make the middle a bit more interesting. Then we have these gold bases on the sides. So you got a mineral wall off here which blocks the gold base from being accessed originally. So you've got to mine through to that. The gold base very exposed because units on this side can fire over into those minerals. And as this mines out, then you can attack around here into this base as well. Not that I think this base is going to be too important as the game goes on, I feel, just from like looking at it initially. I can't even imagine it'll be third base, maybe fourth base down here. Depends how you play it, really. It's tough because this base just feels like you got to come all the way around to get there. Then again, I guess you got to go all the way over here to protect this base. But you're already on the high ground for the third, so it's interesting. Okay. It's pretty unique so far, as we see a couple of Reapers going to be popping out. So first Reaper going to start heading through the center of the map here towards the top left-hand side. Well, Solar's opened up with a very fast Roach Roaring, so he's already saying, you know what, let's go get my Roaches out. And, well, he's going to be... with Roaches against the Reapers, it's definitely a better way to go, but he starts off 4 workers down. Obviously, Ziggy doesn't have his natural expansion yet. He can still fight Roaches. Just with Roaches coming up this quick, it's going to play out so differently from when he was doing it against Sort of. How many minerals are in the mineral wall off to get the rich geyser? All of these, I believe, are just 1 mineable. Although I can't click them right now, so I can't tell you for certain. But they've been one worker mineable from on the other maps so far as well. As you see some Roaches just running down to the bottom right side of the Ravager as well. I mean, this is where the Reapers have to defend. The thing is, those Reapers have not been very active in a forward position, so he's going to pull the SCVs to fight this off. This is something that Ziggy does do against the Roach attacks. He just pulls the SCVs to overwhelm ASAP, keeps the Reapers alive while he cleans up, and gives up some SCVs for the idea or the hope that he's going to be able to follow up quite nicely as well. There's 4 workers lost. I mean, he'll clean up, but it's 5 workers down now. Should pull the SCVs away with 5 workers dead. He cleans up all the Roaches and the Ravager, and obviously it forces Soul to make more units rather than drones. It's up into the natural. And this map's pretty nice on the natural for Reapers. If it was like a Ling style again, you could jump down here and there. There's a little Reaper hop-up spot over in the main base as well, so definitely some Reaper opportunities. Another Reaper getting caught off there. Roaches dealing a little bit more damage again. More Reapers on the way out here, as they all gather in towards the upper left-hand side, and just going to be seeing this Overlord hanging out the front. of the natural. Queen throws down an inject on the main base. And again, those Reapers just going to be pressing forwards, hopping up to the high ground, and going to be able to deal some damage. So a couple of workers going down, 4 workers down, 5. Going back over to the right, going to see one of those Queens taking a couple shots already. Reaper over here got picked off as it jumped up in the wrong location. Well, again, kill the workers, keeps Solar fairly low on the drone count, 25 to 22, although 6 more drones up at a time. So Ziggy needs to try and get more damage done. The issue is Solar obviously feels comfortable that the units he has already are going to be able to keep him alive here, so I don't think Solar's too worried at all about this at the moment. Again, lag getting started from Solar. A couple of extra racks again continue to build up in the main. So he's going into that 5 racks. Well, I guess we're going to be seeing him continue to build Reapers again, because that's what he did earlier. And even though this is not Ling Bane he's playing against, it looks like he will once again continue to build Reapers against it. By the way, I totally just realized, Arius, I'm so sorry, dude. I completely missed your 38-month resub somehow. For 38 months in a row, 41 months total. Thank you so much for the 41 months, Arius. We get some hype in the chat for Arius, guys, on that big resub. You can see these Reapers picking away at a few of those Zerglings. Just going to be seeing the fact that those Reapers continue to fight a little bit. Reapers continue to come on up. Roach speed getting started. And +1 attack again from the Ziggy, trying to upgrade those Reapers. Just feels like Solar's in so much better control of this game, sort of was. Now, Solar doesn't have a third base. Hard to take the third until you get enough Roaches to really push this back, but as Roach speed kicks in, the opportunity to move more so onto the map and etc., that becomes a much bigger deal here, so that's definitely something to be careful of as you have those Reapers back through the center once again. What's up, JST Link, for the 9 months? Thank you so much as well. Appreciate it. Again, a few Roaches on the way up at the moment here. The Roach speed just about halfway done. So again, that Roach style setup to roll. We see Stimpack much faster this game from Ziggy, and he is now going to transition away from the Reapers in towards a more standard bio-based follow-up. Oh, nice kill on the Queen. Really nice kill on the Queen as the Reapers are diving in and out. Good grenades. Again, hitting a lot of those Roaches. Oh my god, those Roaches going down so fast. A couple that get exposed at the front. The issue is I feel like those Reapers are going to go down so fast as soon as they can't kite away. And it feels like that moment is coming very quickly because these Roaches, the Ravager pushing down to the bottom right-hand side, where are those Reapers meant to kite to? Like, there is really not anywhere you can go to kite. Another big Reaper grenade bouncing some of those Roaches around as they run over to the left side. Reaper's being chased away at the moment still. Just going to see the Reapers again taking some good shots. At the moment, you're going to see some Roaches on the left-hand side and some on the bottom. Oh my god, the Reapers are fully surrounded. Great movement by Solar, using all of these pathways on that high ground to utilize to come into his aid. Continues to send Roaches across the map. The Reapers are going to be shut down by a few Roaches that were sent back as well. So it's a good mix of units here so far as those Roaches coming forward. That supply depot is going to go down. I mean, a couple bunkers on the way up, but they're not ready yet. And even if they do come up here, I mean, there's a couple of Ravagers to help. There's just so many Roaches coming straight forwards here. I mean, again, you jump into the bunker, but there's so many units from Solar. No Stimpack just yet either, so those Roaches are going to last a good little while. And Solar's counterattack looks as though he'll clean up, and Ziggy not going to find himself another map here just yet. With this 2-0, Solar puts himself into a very good position to come through this group. GG calls, and Solar grabs the second game.